What comes next for Hedera price after weak momentum and strong ecosystem growth? And what's next? We'll answer those questions and cover the latest Hbar news in today's video. Welcome back to the Crypto Intel channel. If you enjoy staying up to date with everything around Hbar, please give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll never miss updates, price predictions, and market analysis. So let's dive in. The Hbar price trades at around $0.079 with a 24-hour loss of 0.77% and the volume up 12.62% at $38.02 million. This implies the presence of selling pressure in a very narrow trading range compared to low liquidity. The short-term trend has been bearish with prices falling below the 7-day SMA at $0.0805 and 30-day SMA at $0.0843. In the intraday picture, Hbar is trading in a narrow range between approximately $0.0787 and $0.0814. RSI is at 33.93, which places momentum in oversold territory, though MACD remains negative at -0.0022. That mix shows pressure remains present even as momentum starts to flatten. Hbar technical structure points to key levels. We had a look at the Hbar chart shared by Crypto Amen in his YouTube video, and the structure is clearly range-bound. The immediate resistance stands at $0.0787, which has been serving as the reaction zone for the previous trading periods. A break below this level would pave the way towards the swing low at $0.0768. Resistance levels are stacked near $0.0808 to $0.0814. A move through that zone would place price back above short-term averages, with $0.0843 acting as the next major barrier tied to the 30-day SMA. The Hbar price remains compressed between these levels, with no strong breakout yet confirmed. Ecosystem growth contrasts with CAS price weakness. Hedera's active ecosystem development includes enterprise partnerships in supply chain systems, carbon tracking frameworks, and real-world asset tokenization projects exceeding $100 million in value. These use cases are tied to transaction demand on the network, which directly relates to Hbar utility. On the AI side, developments like Hedera Agent Lab and collaborations with enterprise firms such as Accenture and EQTY Lab focus on verifiable AI systems. These systems aim to use Hedera's ledger for auditability and tamper-resistant data flows. At the same time, DeFi activity continues to expand, with TVL reaching $208 million in Q3 2025 and stablecoin supply growing to $44.5 million. Despite this activity, price action remains disconnected from ecosystem growth, showing that usage metrics are not yet translating into sustained demand pressure on the Hbar price. Hbar market structure shows consolidation. Daily data shows Hbar trading at $0.079 after a minor 24-hour decline, with price below key moving averages and trading inside a narrow range. Fibonacci support near 0.07885 remains critical, with deeper support at 0.07687 if that level fails. The broader structure shows no major fundamental disruption. Social sentiment remains moderately positive at 4.9/10, and there are no major negative ecosystem events driving the move. That places the current price action into a technical-driven consolidation phase rather than a catalyst-driven trend. On the upside, reclaiming $0.0808 to $0.0814 would ease short-term pressure and bring $0.0843 back into focus. Bitcoin strength above $64,500 is also a key external factor that could improve sentiment across altcoins, including Hedera. Broader outlook for Hbar price action. The Hbar price remains locked between defined technical levels while ecosystem activity expands in parallel. All of the above are signals that the market is experiencing short-term consolidation, but there is some bearish pressure on the market. On the other hand, the expansion of the network through enterprise, AI, and DeFi continues to help build a good user base. The critical point here is whether 0.0787 support can keep going until momentum is reset, or if there is a need to go lower in order to test 0.0768 first. As of June 28, 2026, the biggest question is no longer whether Hbar can move higher. The real question is, how far could it run if several major catalysts align during the same market cycle? Over the past several months, Hedera has continued strengthening its position across enterprise adoption, real-world asset tokenization, digital identity, and business-focused blockchain infrastructure. Those aren't hype-driven narratives. They're long-term industries that continue attracting institutional attention. The ecosystem has also continued expanding its enterprise footprint through new strategic collaborations and initiatives focused on regulatory and legal infrastructure. These developments may not create overnight price explosions, but they continue strengthening the long-term investment case. Now let's look at the chart. Technically, the setup is becoming increasingly interesting. Over the past several weeks, Hbar has been building a broad accumulation range following its extended correction. These kinds of formations rarely look exciting. Actually, they're usually pretty boring. Sideways candles, lower volatility, less social media hype, fewer retail traders paying attention. But experienced investors know these are often the exact environments where larger players quietly accumulate positions. RSI on the daily time frame remains comfortably in neutral territory. That means the market is nowhere near overbought conditions and still has plenty of room to move if buying momentum begins returning. MACD is also continuing to stabilize after months of bearish pressure. Selling momentum has weakened significantly, and the overall indicator structure is beginning to resemble the early stages of a potential trend reversal. Now let's talk about the part everyone wants to hear, the price prediction. If buyers can successfully reclaim and hold above the 0.10 to 0.11 range, that zone could become the launchpad for the next leg higher. Under that scenario, the first realistic target would likely sit around the 0.12 to 0.14 region. If the broader altcoin market enters a full bullish phase during the second half of the year, a move toward $0.16 to $0.18 would no longer seem unrealistic. And if multiple catalysts line up at the same time, growing institutional adoption, continued enterprise expansion, increasing demand for real-world asset tokenization, and a broader recovery across the crypto market, then much higher valuations could eventually come back into play during the next phase of the cycle. Of course, none of this is guaranteed. Your plans, hopes, and expectations are for it. The best and most engaging comment will be featured in the next video. Just a reminder, friends, informational and news videos are posted on the channel every day, so you won't get bored here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're always up to date on all the latest news. And if you liked this video, please support me with a like. Your like is my motivation. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you next time.